And also, 9 minutes of
let's go. Let's just we'll talk about we'll still do some more Man U, but then we'll just talk about last week's games and then upcoming games and co. Are we good? Yeah. Okay. So guys, did anybody watch the Tottenham Brighton game?
Unfortunately not.
Brighton 1-0. What's up?
I think there's something about footballers playing this early kickoff. I don't get it. The Tottenham players, they all looked exhausted for some reason. It was hot. Kane, Son, and Kulusevski or whatever his name is. They could not even find themselves. And then for some reason, Brighton just waited. I think they scored 90th minute, if I'm not mistaken. And then that's how the game ended. So for some reason, I think it had something to do with. I don't know whether it's
but if you've had time to prepare,
it was a very strange because they are just beating someone 5-0. I think.
Yeah, but
Son
that's
scored
how Tottenham has been all season.
Hot
you
and
win,
cold.
yeah,
Hot and cold. Man City 3-2.
It was very strange. I'm sure the manager will probably just put it down as one of those games because it was a very strange. Harry Kane, I think he had fewer touches in the box than the Brighton goalkeeper. It was very strange. They were very poor.
So Man U winning Norwich 3-2. But then when I watched the analysis show, right? You watch the way those guys picked apart United's. That's Norwich. That's literally the bottom of the
And that
table,
happens in every
right?
game.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's been consistent. United on the ball, probably playing very good football sometimes. Off the ball, we are horrible, horrendous. Norwich, that is 17th, 16th, whatever, 17th, 18th, picked us apart like hot knife through bread.
Yeah.
We have no positional structure of how to return back when we're off the ball.
Our left back. I feel like there's a problem. Whether it's Telles, whether it's Shaw. Those two goals came as a result of space in the left.
They have
is
positional discipline.
that a problem? Is the manager saying
The left back and the left centre back.
Is that something wrong with? Do we need to bin two of them? Because it's like I don't know if it's instruction from the manager or if it's the players.
There are sometimes when you do
The two
no matter
goals-
the instruction you give a player,
Yeah.
it has to come from the player at the end of the day.
No, but here's what I think. The attitude from United for the past 5 games, and I'm going to blame the United board for this. These players, they are playing as if they are already at the beach. Most of them, they are almost like the fans. They feel like they are on holiday. Now, I feel like this Ten Hag that everybody eats like the worst kept secret. Everybody knows he's coming now.
Mm-hmm.
They should have kept it under wraps because when a player is playing for his when a player is playing to impress a manager, it's different. They know that Ralph is not the guy they have to impress. So all of them, they're like, even if I
But
play,
Ralph is still going to be.
no, but that's the thing. He's living as the manager. That's where the problem is. So when you are playing under an interim manager and you know that he may or may not get the job, you want to give your best. It happened to Alonso when he was at Chelsea. He played under, I think, Conte. He was playing wing back. Lampard came. Lampard was like, I'm not really a fan. I want 4 defenders. He went into hiding. And then once a new manager, you know that, okay, somebody else is coming in. I'm going to impress and show him I can actually play ball. These guys, even when United concede a goal, they just turn around and because they are playing that, I don't have to impress this guy. There's a new manager coming. So when he shows up, then I'll show him that I can pass, I can track back. And I feel that that's because all the players, Ronaldo is the only one who, he does what's out of habit. He always works hard. He's probably the most professional footballer ever because even when he wants to hand in a transfer request, he still plays like someone else to score. The United players, all of them, they're just playing like, look, I don't have to impress this guy. I'm sure Ralph will probably kick the boot or something, but they don't care because he's going into.
And then Bruno has been non-existent, and then he was given a renewal. Why do that? Like, what message is that? Like, the new manager has not come in to say this guy is part of my plan or not part of my plan. Bruno has not been impressed. Like, I mean, I want to believe that before you give somebody on the high, when you're giving someone a new contract, is this guy is doing well. Let's lock him down before somebody. But this guy still has, I think, about 3 years, right, on his contract, and he's not been playing great, right? Why are you giving me a new contract?
That's Man U's biggest problem.
Like, why? Like, who is in charge of these things?
I feel like it's a desperate move.
They did it
for
with
what?
Solskjaer.
Because you look at that team and you look at all the players in the United team they are all average at best, and Bruno is the only one that stands out. So he might not be playing well now, but everybody knows what he can do. So it's one of those things that the end of this year.
Everybody knows what he can do when he's playing a certain role.
Yeah.
When
10
he's
behind
playing
the
that
striker.
10 behind the striker. But Bruno as a midfielder, which is what
He gives away
which is the role
possession
he's
way
been given.
too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
He's impatient on the ball. All his by luck lottery passes where he's playing as a 10, he can throw 10. 2 we enter, it results in a goal. You say, okay, he did his job. But as a Modric does not. If you check Modric or Cruz's stats, these guys don't
Pass
rack
completion.
up assists. They don't rack up goals, but they do a midfielder's job. Hold the ball.
Check their pass
dictate the
completion.
game.
completion
And that's the
rate.
role Bruno has been given.
But
Now,
is
I
he
think
playing center mid for us or playing 10
He's
for
playing
us?
the central
center
midfield.
No, but that's the, he's meant to be playing 10
He's supposed
because
to- I think
his
he's supposed to play
numbers don't lie. As much as some of it is start padding, he's a very since he showed up here.
I don't argue that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like the position he's playing now. I think they should have waited for the new manager. If the manager wants to give him that role again, play behind.
yeah.
Because another thing with playing in the hole, it could be a bit difficult with someone like Ronaldo there. Because Ronaldo is quite mobile. You know how
I
Ronaldo can
get
be.
what you're saying. I just feel like
So I
United.
think they should have waited.
I just feel like United's own is there are some players that you look at, irrespective of the manager. These players are too good that whoever comes in.
Okay, that's the second part
But
of it.
you
He has
still,
3
you
years
still
of
have 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, it's desperation because
So somebody was saying something to me the other day and saying that if the guy, if Maguire was not to be captain, right? In the present squad, with the exception of Ronaldo, because obviously Ronaldo is a transition, he could leave, right? Who would you give the captain? Someone was saying they would give Bruno.
I would have given Bruno.
I
would say De Gea though, because
I
I
would
feel
have
like
given Bruno
Personally, I'll
because-
give it to the game.
I would have
With
given
or
it to,
without Ronaldo.
I would have given it to Bruno because there were those games when Maguire did not play earlier this year, and I think Bruno had the armband. I think he was assisting Greenwood, and he has. There are some players that they need to
Sorry,
feel.
I don't want players like that on the armband. All these people who feel they are contributing a lot by being passionate.
But if you
No,
look
no,
at
no,
if you look
no,
at the
no,
squad,
no, no,
if you look at the squad right now,
of players like that.
who else would
People
you
like
give?
McTominay. No, let me make my point. People like McTominay.
Okay.
You see them the way they tackle, showing passion, pointing, badge pointing, and all of that. I feel that there are a group of players like that where they feel like once they've done that, they're kind of doing their job.
No, but-
I just give that thing to the game.
Yeah, no, I just feel
No,
like-
but I'm
feel-
fine.
I
I'm
feel like
fine.
you
I'll
need-
be fine with either De
I feel
Gea or
like you
Bruno
need
at that point in
captain
time.
that plays because De Gea is too far away from the action anyway, and De Gea is not even
And
outspoken.
yes.
He's a very
I think
he's
that's
someone
what
that
It has always been said that the communication within his box, he doesn't have a proper command like
Yeah.
a Schmeichel or even a Van der Sar back.
he's
I
like-
think, I think that's one of those things that the pundits have put in our head, and it seems like that this is what
No,
we're
no,
supposed to
but-
believe.
but we
when
see-
I watch,
but we see this
I
in-
see the gates pick up.
no.
Of course, he's not as commanding as a Van der Sar or a Neuer, but he's not one shy dormant.
He doesn't
No, but
pass.
when Rooney,
He doesn't pass
I don't know
my
if you
eye
saw
test for
Rooney's
that.
interview when he spoke about Manchester United's goalkeepers, that he remembered when United bought De Gea and he was like, this skinny kid
Of
is not
course,
going to
then
be.
now.
Yeah, no. He was like, this skinny kid is not going to be United number one. Like he has reflexes, but you need a presence. And you mentioned earlier when we were talking about goalkeepers, I feel like any title winning team, Champions League winning team, you need a base, that spine, and it starts from the keeper. If Chelsea don't have Mendy, they don't win Champions League. It's like you look at, as a footballer, even if you play with your guys, if you are a striker and then you look at the back and you see who is guarding the goal,
I mean,
That's the
Mendy
same
made
confidence.
good
That's the same
saves,
confidence
but-
Liverpool has having
Exactly.
Alisson.
But
No, not even Alisson. Van Dijk.
Mendy has not done
They know
anything
that their back is
spectacular,
secured.
I feel he's a
No,
good
but when
goalkeeper.
Mendy has been
Nah,
really
he's
good.
world-class.
No, I think he's a good goalkeeper.
I think he's
I
work-
think he's a good goalkeeper.
he's
That
work-
was an upgrade on Kepa. He's an upgrade on Kepa.
No, but
he's not the kind
very
of
well
person
this
where
season.
if you take out Mendy, you're like, oh my, when would this
In the league,
What?
in the league, is he not top 3?
there was a time he had more clean sheets than goals conceded. or
He's
something.
top 3 in the
He
league,
was-
though.
For me, maybe.
Alisson,
He is
Ederson.
top- yeah.
Alisson is confident.
Alisson,
number
Edison,
one.
and Mendy.
I'll pick the Gea over Edison.
Nah.
Edison, when we were talking about a goalkeeper's primary job, Edison
Okay,
is not
let me
very
let me
good.
let me
Edison's
say
reflexes
something.
It's not that good.
It's good though.
Ebuka,
not
let me
that
say
awareness.
something. You were saying something about a player's primary job being the most paramount.
Yes.
Then why is Bissaka always getting the slack when you know that his most primary
primary job is
position
not to slide.
No, he's a
defending.
defender, and he does it well.
Is defending.
A fullback's primary job is not to be sliding.
No, but he's a defender. He's a defender. First and foremost, he's a defender.
First and foremost,
He's a defender. But
to
as a
defend, to stop
Yeah.
the ball from
As a
coming into
fullback.
your box.
stopping crosses and all of that.
Yeah.
But as a fullback, your primary job.
No, that's your
No,
secondary
no,
job.
it's
Going
secondary.
forward, back in the
Primary,
day,
I'm not even talking about going forward now. I'm talking about some of his positionings are shit.
his positioning
He
is
can
not good.
slide.
But he can tackle.
But his primary.
He can tackle. Exactly.
He can tackle. No,
He
no,
can
but-
tackle.
He can slide. He can
but
tackle.
that
He can
defending,
mark. He can
he's
mark
not defending
1v1.
well.
But that's his primary duty, defending.
No. You're mentioning it's like Maguire. Maguire can cross the ball into the net. He can nod it out, but that's not his primary job.
No, his job is to
defending in
defend.
the totality
Like, he's-
has to do with positioning. In fact, the most important thing for a defender, positioning, spatial awareness, knowing where the person. Not that you miss somebody, you now wake up and you slide. People will clap for you.
If you look at about 75% of a goalkeeper's saves can be prevented if the goalkeeper is proactive. When you look at Mendy, Alisson, Ederson, sometimes they don't even have to defend corners. You, as a defender, when the ball is in the air and a goalkeeper shouts keeper, you know that goalkeepers are like a very protected species because the keeper knows that even if he gets one arm on the ball and someone touches him, the ref will blow. So Dagia doesn't do that. There was a game.
How many times does the girl come off his line?
He doesn't. They kept dropping the ball on his head because they know that he doesn't. He's a shot stopper. And then if you look at Ederson, Alisson, they all have reflexes. But
No.
no.
Please don't put Ederson.
Ederson.
No, Ederson is there.
For you to be a professional goalkeeper in the league, of course you're not that terrible.
No,
If this was
Ederson's top
FM,
three,
reflexes
if
should be
not
like
top
15.
two, sir.
No,
Ederson is top
Ederson
two.
is a solid. See,
Ederson is top two.
I think because Man City
What's
plays.
your grouse against
I
Ederson?
think because
I don't have anything against
I think
him.
I think you just constantly look at the fact that he's a ball playing keeper.
No, I don't
And again,
downgrade
at
him.
Man City,
I see a lot of goals
at
he
Man
concede.
City,
Yeah.
at Man City, because
And
Man
I think
City,
DJ will say
Man
that.
City is
I think
outplaying-
Alisson will say that.
outplaying
I
the
think
def-
what-
the
And again, he's
opposition.
quite short.
I think
Man City
why
outplaying the opposition.
Alisson starts over
He's not
Ederson
short,
for
man.
Brazil is that Ederson sometimes loses concentration. For example, the game the against Liverpool.
Yeah,
when he was
that
he
ball,
was just absent-minded. So sometimes the game is almost done. You see some of those goals coming.
Yeah,
85th to 90th
at the end of
minute.
the game, yeah.
His mind is already in the tunnel. You understand?
But what I'm saying is, when you try
start
to attack Manchester City, by the time you lob the ball over the halfway line, before you can even turn to face the goal, like the keeper is in your face.
But you know that has a lot to do with the way Man City set up.
No,
And
but
the way the opposition plays
Liverpool
against them.
does it.
62. What do you mean?
Mendy does like if you look at Ederson, Alisson and Mendy, like they have this command over their box.
We'll come back to Man U. Let's go. So Southampton 1, Arsenal 0.
Oh, that was a very, very delicious.
It was an interesting game. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch
One
the
of my
game.
friends,
Are we
my very good friend,
are we supposed to be neutral?
was on Twitter ranting and ranting.
Somebody.
He was not acting as if he wasn't watching the game. He was not
As if he was fasting.
commenting on some Twitter space. I'm like, Baba, I don't want to mention a guy's name just in case the guy sees.
His name rhymes with crack.
No, you can come and tell me. I will come and tell me what happened that game. Just come.
Come.
No,
Come.
come
He did-
and tell me. Come on. It's a lie. You were watching your comments, guy. Just give us a brief 5 minutes. Come. I'll just just 5 minutes. Tell us. I mean, we're not Arsenal fans. You called it a Man U fan show. So tell us what happened. 5 minutes, real quick.
Let me sit down so that I can,
Talk about game pressing from
So
Laka.
Honestly, it's like one of the best games this season, according to my manager. So I'm sticking with my manager. So because he has to stay. It's like one of the best games. We were just unlucky. Yeah, that's basically it. We created chances, but the goalkeeper was on top of his form.
Right?
Yeah, I think against Southampton, the problem wasn't really Tavares. Most of our problems against Southampton was Nketiah.
But you also complain about Lacazette.
They are. It's basically when you take
Your-
out Lacazette,
your two frontal
and you bring
forwards
in
are leaving-
Nketiah,
leaving in the
it's
summer.
like yeah, they are the same. It's playing today. They are the same people. So
Lukaku starting too.
Easy.
I feel someone said when we're in a space and then someone said that what's his name, Arteta not selecting Pepe ahead of Nketiah for that game shows that he has a personal No, then Martinelli can be
Okay, in the top 9.
because he himself said after in an interview that we have 3 strikers.
See how
Yeah.
So the
passionate
3
Hank looks.
strikers are basically Nketiah, Lacazette, and Martinelli. So if you have said we have 3 strikers and Martinelli is one of the strikers, then we don't have the other guy, and obviously Nketiah has not been doing well. And what's in Pepe can actually play from. He have just drafted. Yeah, we are winning.
That is very.
Say that with more conviction.
That was very convincing.
Okay, so
You've encouraged me to bet.
So
on
guys,
Arsenal.
so realistically, right? I've been asking this question week in, week out because it's like I keep expecting Arsenal would win because they had 2 games in hand and they were 1 point. Do you think they would make top 4?
No.
I think top 4 is between Spurs and Spurs.
Yeah.
It's really theirs to lose.
It's Spurs to lose. Is that the proper way
Do
to
you
say it?
think because usually Arsenal always beat Spurs, right? That crucial game between Arsenal and
United.
no, Arsenal and Spurs. Arsenal and Spurs are playing, I think, in 2 weeks' time, right? That's a very crucial game. That's
What
a
other
make-off
tough game do we have?
I think United's got Chelsea.
I know we'll beat Chelsea.
Come on,
Chelsea,
stop it.
Arsenal.
Stop it.
We'll beat Chelsea.
Chelsea, Arsenal.
Chelsea has nothing to play for again for this season.
You know how Fergie used to say about before they play Spurs. Come on, lads. It's Tottenham.
I think we also
Time
Come
has
on,
passed.
it's
Yeah.
Arsenal, man.
No, we've already played.
We play
Spurs.
Spurs. We play Spurs.
And Ronaldo did his thing.
Yeah, the hat-trick.
Hat trick.
Okay, so Watford, Brentford. Brentford won 2-1.
Brentford has become a different team since Eriksen came into
Yeah,
the league. He's been
yeah.
fantastic, which surprised most people because everyone could have.
I was
He
worried
didn't
for
lo- he
him.
Didn't, he didn't lose his footballing ability.
No.
I mean, given that it was
Hard
that was a hard
metal
problem.
His ability
play.
was
I think
always
it's when
still
the pacemaker,
there.
but
Yeah.
still.
No.
It's
Yeah.
like they've been winning.
That's the
I
kind
think how
of
can I tweet that?
So-
about
and then it's
this
not
guy
just
should run?
Ericsson. There's a black guy in front as well, other than
Wemo.
Tony. Yeah.
Is it
Wemo.
Wemo.
No. One really stocky guy.
Is it Wissa?
No, Pepo or something. There's
Yeah.
a guy.
He has that kind of name.
Yeah, there's a guy that plays in front. Yeah.
See, Ericsson is the talisman that Ronaldo was supposed to be for United. Galvanize the team.
But
You're-
United is doing that. It's just that.
But I just feel like
Yeah, I'm saying that, but the players are responding performance-wise
Okay, yeah,
to
yeah,
Eriksen's arrival,
Yeah.
as opposed to everybody just there. Or Ronaldo has to do magic.
Yeah, well, I feel like Ronaldo, Bruno, then just being everybody else. Maybe Sancho, you keep Sancho. But I feel like that.
Do you
whole
think?
United
Do you
team-
think we'll have been in a better position if Greenwood didn't use his wood? He hit Green?
Nope.
Honestly, I think Greenwood.
I like Greenwood
I think
as a player.
I think we are suffering because it was very strange that Greenwood, that incident happened and then Martial already left.
Yes.
So it's like Greenwood, Martial, and then Cavani went home because he likes
Cavani has
to.
not-
So it's
Went
like
on vacation.
from having 6 attackers, United just had
Checked
3 out of nowhere, and then it's like the numbers just.
Wait, what
kept-
happened to Cavani?
He's been injured.
Injury.
Cavani always he wanted to leave.
Allegedly.
Ole was the one who convinced him to stay because he was like he's never experienced playing for Man United if he doesn't play in front of the crowd, which is why he stayed. South American players typically they're always homesick, they want to run back home, so he's going anyways. But I feel like Cavani, Martial, and Greenwood being out at the same time sort of
really
so because Ronaldo, as good as he is, he needed to rest in some games, and you could see there were games that he couldn't even control the ball. He's a 36,
37.
So he's an old guy. So you need to rest. And then I just feel like
He'll be 38
the injuries
this
that I just feel like the injuries that he had,
February.
Oh, it's
the injury, irrespective of how frequently he can find the net, he needs to rest. But if you rest him, who starts in his place? There was nobody. Elanga.
I mean, every time he doesn't play, we lose or draw.
There's no goal coming from
Yeah,
him.
it was rather unfortunate that everything happened at
And
the same
again,
time.
even
But
after- I don't know.
Well, so guys, Newcastle winning Leicester 2-1. Newcastle
Amen.
safe.
no, I think
Eddie
Leicester.
Howe did a
Leicester
fantastic
City.
job.
They
saving
did-
them.
they
I think
did.
Leicester City are distracted at the moment. They have bigger fish to fry. I think the conference, they are in the semi-finals now. and-
Which Roma is going to win, so I don't know.
West
why
Ham-
they're
West Ham-
No,
distracted.
Leicester City. I think they will get to the final. I don't know if they win, but I think they get to the
Who?
final.
West Ham?
Leicester.
Leicester.
If they don't meet Roma, they'll get to the final.
West Ham is playing in the Europa.
Europa.
semi-finals.
Yeah, so it's like English teams.
So Newcastle, all but safe. Everybody was wondering.
yeah, Madison
No,
was
they did,
rested. Barnes was
the
rested.
and,
winter-
and then Newcastle looked
winter
like
window,
they will
did-
shop
they
this
did-
summer.
They did good work.
They will shop like crazy. By the way, Fulham is back again.
Newcastle is Eddie Howe, right?
Oh yeah.
Fulham is back again.
I put a GIF. Return tickets.
They are going back down.
Fulham is back. So every time it happens is Newcastle comes, Norwich goes down, Newcastle
Yeah.
comes up. They do the
No,
same
I think
thing.
Fulham is
Fulham comes up,
Fulham
Fulham.
is the
Not
typical.
Newcastle.
Sorry, Fulham
Yeah.
and Norwich. Fulham and Norwich.
They are typical.
I hope
Hi.
they do.
I don't think
they
do
always
the
spend
Premier League
money.
together.
No, the problem with Fulham, they are too good for the championship, but not good enough for the Premier League. So it's like they are just in between, and then they just
Is
keep
Mitrovic
doing it.
still
Mitrovic
there,
scored
right?
40 goals, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Broke the record.
I think
He's
he
too
scored
good
more
for that.
goals
He's
than
too good for
Tony.
that league, but he's not good enough for the Premier League. So
I
like,
think Mitrovic is not a bad striker. It's kind of person that if you give him, I think if he plays for Chelsea,
He's a squad
he
player.
will do well.
Put it on
He's
the
an
plate.
old guy. He can't play for
He
Chelsea.
can't be running. No, come on. He's a long ball.
he's a standing striker.
Standing
He's
striker.
like Rondon that plays for Everton.
a more prolific Rondon.
Okay, so West Ham Burnley 1-1. West Ham.
Well, I think Burnley are benefiting from the new manager. I think they got rid of Sean Dyche,
please.
and then they got a new. They played well.
They're still gonna go down.
They're using their
Going
under 23
down,
coach.
man.
No, but they should have won that game because I think they had.
West Ham scored first, didn't they?
No, Burnley scored first. Then they now had a penalty, which Rodriguez should have taken, and then Conte, because he was the one that fouled, took the ball off
And
him
missed it.
and missed, which is one of the things
Those,
that irritates a manager the most.
stop
Because
and step
before the
penalties.
game starts, you know who the penalty takers are, and then you do that, and then I think it cost them the 3 points. But now that Sean Dyche is no longer the manager, I think they will stay up.
But
because
did you think that his sacking was a good idea?
it was because they're going down anyways? So it's like
I
you
think it's
try
a
you try
terrible
to,
idea.
No, you try to get.
You don't support him. He
And
overachieves.
He's a kind of fighter.
and
that you
you're
would
going
need
down. You need him
at
down
this
there.
point in time
the
with
thing
his
is,
aggressive
the-
style
the
of football.
Nobody gets a manager fired quicker than his own players, and I feel like the players were no longer interested in that. I don't know why I call it
With 7
pragmatic
games to
type
go.
of.
Because that was the best he could do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, so when they fired him, they would have lost to West Ham if he was there.
I disagree.
They would have because
They
Weghorst.
beat Everton with him there.
No. Come on. Everton is like one of the poorest teams in the league right now.
And they beat us.
No, I mean United is nothing.
don't call
You
United
don't call United at the moment. Anybody can be United at this moment. I mean Norwich came to Old Trafford and they were like prime Real Madrid. So like you can't really use United as a metric anymore. So like if you look at the performance was good. They should have led 2-0 at halftime with the football that they were playing. If you watch the West Ham Burnley game, and then the goal came because they were tired. The Burnley players were tired, and the West Ham pressure eventually told. But the thing is, once you get rid of a manager and then you bring in someone new, it is for the players sometimes the only way they can tell they are not happy with the coaching, the way the club is being run is by the performance on the pitch. Yeah, it's like I'm not going to run that extra 10 years. Don't stress me.
It's crazy. This guy's
But I really don't get the Burnley management. Now you're giving the team to your under 23,
Yeah.
and you're still telling them that you want to get an interim manager before the end of the season. It's bonkers.
Well, I think it's one of those things where they are just trying to keep the players on edge.
With what 6 games to go,
I think they're just trying to keep
you
the
still
players
want
on
to
edge.
bring in an interim manager when your under 23 coach is already coaching it.
I think a club did it last year. I don't know whether it was West Brom. I think they sacked their manager, got a manager from the team that has just gotten. They literally switched. And he worked for both. Actually, he worked
Was
for
it
the one.
Bournemouth?
It was. They switched managers, and then because they're looking for new manager bounce is actually a thing because everyone is like.
Except
He worked for Ole when he joined United, and then the United won like 11 straight.
That's why they give him
Okay,
the
for
job.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've discussed this. Liverpool, Man U, 4-0.
Yeah, I
No.
think it's
Okay, so at the moment,
Superior.
Leicester is winning Everton 1-0. Ashley Barnes and Chelsea is still playing
How many
0-0.
minutes
Arsenal. What? I'm not even. I think maybe 13 minutes. Okay, so let's just do predictions for next week and then we're done. Okay, so for for next week instead. So we have Arsenal Man U first game. Takers.
Who's
Arsenal's
we're playing
at home.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
United is
it's
usually
like
better
Arsenal,
away.
Man U.
If it's possible,
Man United, big one.
if it's possible for two teams to
Tell me
lose
your
the game,
prediction.
I think.
Your prediction?
If Ronaldo plays 3-1, if he doesn't,
Yeah, I think if Ronaldo makes all the
I
difference.
think it will be 2-1 to United.
I think if Ronaldo plays,
we will
he makes all the
definitely
difference.
concede. We'll definitely
Okay.
concede.
United got two big games next week, but we'll get to the last one. Leicester, Aston Villa predictions.
I think Aston Villa wins because Leicester is distracted
Yeah.
at the moment.
I think that'll be a draw.
Yeah.
I'm going for Aston Villa 1-0.
Yeah, I think.
1-0.
Man City,
1-0.
Watford.
That's what I'm going for.
Oh, 4-0.
Man City.
Ryan
Wat-
Sterling scores a hat trick because he likes that particular club.
I'll add one and say 5-0.
3-0. Easy.
Okay, Norwich, Newcastle.
Newcastle wins 3-0.
2-1 Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle.
I think Norwich will get a goal here. I think Norwich will get a goal
2-1
here.
Newcastle.
Scores, what's happening there? Yes! Arsenal scored? Who scored? Who scored? And you were making noise. We'll come back. Brentford, Tottenham.
Brentford, Tottenham.
Oh, Brentford has been on the up and up recently.
I think Tottenham wins because they've realized now that the margin for error has, disappeared. Yeah, they have to win. I think Tottenham wins.
I'll go for a draw.
3-1,
1-1,
3-2,
2, whatever it is.
3-2 Tottenham.
Brighton, Southampton.
That's a goalless draw. Come on, give me that.
1-0 Southampton. No.
1-0 Brighton. Yeah, 1-0. 1-0 Brighton. Malpe. Top right hand corner.
Burnley,
Seen it.
Wolves.
That match has 0-0 written all over it.
That's a 1-1-0-0.
It's like one team doesn't. It's like both teams just give each other the ball because they don't want to score.
Wolves are
okay.
way better defensive.
So in London derby, Chelsea, West Ham.
Chelsea wins.
Chelsea hammers them.
3-1.
The Merseyside derby, Liverpool, Everton.
If he reached 7.
I think Liverpool.
See, I need them to charge them 7 to distract from this United
I think
team.
Liverpool might end up relegating Everton with the performance.
Everton will be relegated.
Ancelotti ran the
I think
first.
Burnley might just.
Ancelotti ran the first time at the first chance he got.
Crystal Palace, Leeds.
I think Crystal Palace. Vieira's been playing some nice ball.
3-1.
Wait, didn't Crystal Palace lose their last game? Who did they play? Okay, that was the FA Cup.
Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is just playing today. They're playing Newcastle. Crystal Palace. They're playing Newcastle at the moment. But then they lost to Leicester 2-1 the previous game.
And they lost to Chelsea too in the FA Cup.
In the FA Cup.
Yeah, but then they won Arsenal.
Mateta's,
Okay, so Crystal Palace leads.
I'm going 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
And then final game, Man United, Chelsea.
I've said it. Man United will beat Chelsea.
Chelsea 4-0.
No. Man U is winning 2-1.
Your prediction?
Take it to the bank.
I think it will be a draw.
No, I think Chelsea wins.
Please.
I think Chelsea wins.
Come on, we always have Chelsea's number.
Jamal, season has
Even
ended.
now,
You can write
will
that.
draw.
I really okay. Season has ended for me.
No, Chelsea-
Chelsea.
I think Chelsea wins comfortably because United are so uninterested in playing football right now that
I feel like United don't even want to enter
anybody.
conference
I feel like
league.
any
They just
team,
want to not
any
qualify.
team that just shows interest can beat United.
Well, the worst thing that can happen to us is that conference league.
Bro.
Rather, we don't qualify for anything. Wallahi.
I want to
That'll be a
just
new low.
I think
Anyways,
it's annoying
Seahawks
already
is seriously
playing.
And then you're now
Europa.
distracted.
wait. They are about to start
More
that
fixtures
whole
because of
Champions
conference.
League coefficient because they realize that they have to help us get into the Champions
isn't
League.
the Champions League coming up soon? Wait, hold up. I think there's a. Oh Jesus Christ!
They want to help
Wait, hold up,
United get in.
guys. 1 second before we go.
That coefficient nonsense. They want United get it because they're not qualified in next week.
Okay, yeah. There's Champions League next week Tuesday, right? Okay, so let's just Man City, Real Madrid.
Man City wins comfortably.
Man City, Real Madrid.
Yeah?
Money on Man City.
Yeah, Liverpool, Villarreal.
Nah, Liverpool again. Liverpool and City will
So we're
meet
predicting a
in the
Man
final.
City Liverpool final.
and I think Liverpool wins.
Liverpool will win, but they will see the type of.
No, I think Man City will win if they get to the final.
They've not experienced haram football before.
My money on Man City in the final.
Unai is going to bring in haram football.
All right, guys.
This is so bad, everybody
Hack
wants Man
them
City
this
to
the Man U show, and I think we're done. Next week, go and look for Chelsea fans if you guys win.
Look for Benfica fans.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Shalom.
Shalom.